am back with day 16 and 17 of my 2019 December daily album. I am working on some pages from when me and my family went to breakfast with Santa. And on this page, I wanted to scrap this photo of me, my parents, and my daughter. And I thought what would look cute is using some of these banner pieces from the sticker sheet. So I pulled out some embroidery string or just some string that I had in my stash. I'm going to add this banner all the way across. It says Merry, and then I'm going to use that Christmas sticker that you kind of see in the bottom left hand corner of the screen underneath the Merry here. So I'm going to attach this all. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to add some foam to the back, and then I'm also going to use a little bit of adhesive on the banner and the string to make sure that everything just stays stuck in place. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, just gluing everything down. I'll let that all dry and then I will end up adhering that to the page in just a few seconds. So this is the next day, everything's dried up, and then I'm going to pull my book back over here. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I do add some powder. This is just an EK Success powder tool that takes the sticky off of stickers. You don't have to use that, but I didn't want any of the stickiness sticking to the page and then gluing down the banners funky. So I just decided to use that powder tool to remove that sticky. So that's a good tip. It's basically just baby powder. So if you don't want to buy the tool or you can't find the tool, you can just use a little baby powder and a brush, and it will do the same kind of thing. So this is glued down now. I just mounted that photo on some of the striped paper that was in the hip kit that I have been using. I'm going to ink around the Christmas here, and I think last time I did a video I was talking about adding some cheesecloth behind one of these Christmas banners, and now I remember that it was actually this one, and that's why I was getting confused. So I'm going to add some cheesecloth back here. I thought it needed a little bit of a background, so I'm just trimming this up, and I'm going to kind of haphazardly kind of crinkle and wrinkle it up and just add a little bit of glue so that it kind of stays this bunchy look. I thought that would look kind of fun. I'm just going to use my 3-in-1 beacon glue, and it works pretty well. I'm going to add the green buttons that you see here on either side of the Christmas, and I don't like my buttons being naked, so I end up adding some black embroidery floss through the holes before I glue everything down. So now I'm just using that same 3-in-1 glue, gluing down the Christmas, and I don't push on it too much because I want it to kind of pop up from the page, but I also want it to adhere, so I kind of apply some light pressure to that, and then I'm going to glue down these banners here. And then it's going to say Merry Christmas. And I really like how this page turned out. I love this photo of my family. I thought it looked really cute in front of this kind of old-fashioned truck. We've gotten our picture taken in front of this truck before, but I just really like how it turned out this time. So now moving on to the next page, I'm going to be adhering these photos of my daughter with Santa and Mrs. Claus to this coffee-dyed coffee filter. And I'm just inking around the edges. I just mounted the photos on some of the Bella Boulevard paper that I've been using, and I'm going to mount these back to back just using some liquid glue again, and that worked perfectly, and it kind of creates a flap. And I really like this coffee filter that's dyed. I like how it looks super grungy, and I like the real dark color of it, and I thought that worked well. And everything glues down and holds really nice here. So that is Santa and Mrs. Claus there. And then I wanted to add some journaling. So I am going to type up some of my journaling on my vintage typewriter, and then I just cut it into strips, and then I will keep you from getting bored to death, and I will speed through this. So these are all glued down now. And I wanted to use that pre-made embellishment, but it wasn't going to fit on this side, so I'm going to glue it to this side instead. But I thought it needed something on the right hand side, so I'm just going to pull out a little ruffled piece of what is it, tissue paper that I had sewed earlier. It just has a zigzag down it, and it's just folded like a accordion. And I'm going to glue that down, glue down my little pre-made embellishment, and then this particular part of the page is complete. I really like how this turned out. I like how it's a little more interactive. It's not just the pages or the pictures sticking on like the whole page. I like how the photos kind of come off the page, and I thought that was pretty fun. So now I'm going to work on this page here. This is a picture of my daughter and my mom, and then a picture of Santa and my daughter. And I'm just going to do some simple kind of collaging of stickers and things like that on this page. I had a lot of pictures from this day, and I didn't feel like I needed to do a ton of fancy stuff, so I'm just keeping it pretty simple with stickers and things. So I am using the sticker sheet that I've been using through this project. I am just inking up around the stickers to kind of dull down the stark whiteness of some of them. And then I'm just kind of gluing all of it down the way I think it looks best. So I'm going to use some of this Glue Dots adhesive that I have been liking. It's something that's new to me. I have never used that particular brand before. It doesn't seem as sticky as the American Craft Sticky Thumb adhesive, but it's working for me and it's staying. Things are staying in this album, so I'm happy with it. So just gluing everything down, pushing it down with my hands, and then I'm going to kind of stagger the photos of Santa and my daughter, and I'm going to ink around. There's going to be this awkward space on the right hand side, so I'm going to take another one of my pre-made embellishments that is some fabric strips that are hanging with a button, and I'm going to glue that there. But I also wanted to add a little bit more to that, so I'm going to pull an ornament sticker from my stash and then add that too. Now I found this Mary piece that I had pre-made, and I thought Santa and Mrs. Claus needed a little something something, so I added that to this photo to embellish this a little bit more, adding a little glue dot so it's not flapping in the wind. And then I'm going to add a button to the side where my daughter and Santa is to kind of cover up that staple. Not that I needed to cover it up, but I thought it needed something on that side. So I'm just taking this kind of clear button. I threaded it with some black embroidery floss, and I'm just going to glue that down. And then now I'm going to come back and add that ornament that I was just talking about. And my album is getting super chunky. It is really hard to work with, and it's even harder to film because I'm trying to do it in a way that you guys can see what I'm doing, but you can see that music paper on the left hand side is just wanting to keep moving, and because my pages are all kind of different sizes and things, it's not really something I can clip down easily. So this little music paper is just flopping in the wind. It was really annoying me, and I was like, oh my gosh, you guys aren't gonna be able to see anything because it just keeps wanting to come over onto my photos. So it gets worse as I did some more layouts later on. Oh my gosh, it is getting so fat on the left hand side. It is getting very difficult to do this. So that is something to be wary of. I was hoping the album would stay pretty non-chunky. I didn't mind chunky, but I didn't want to get too bad. But it is getting a little difficult to work in. That's one thing that was nice about the pocket pages is once it started getting chunky, I would just be doing the pages outside of the album and then just put the sleeves into the album when I was done with them. So I didn't have to deal with all that bulk on the left-hand side from the previous pages. In this album, because it is a fixed album, and it's sewn together, you can't do that. So you have to kind of finagle around those pages. So that is one thing that I am finding a little bit difficult to do, is to be able to work in this book and then keep that left-hand side in place while I'm working. So anyway, back to what I'm doing here right now. I have moved on to day 17. I just have a picture of my dog with some antlers on. We had bought some Grinch pajamas, and we thought it'd be funny to get little antlers for the dog, you know, like Max from the Grinch. So we forced my poor little dog Indy to wear some antlers. Basically, my husband had to hold him on while we took a picture, and that's pretty much how it ended because he's not going to keep those antlers on, but I think they were on clearance or something, so we just had to get them. So now I'm just documenting this little story about that. So this just says, "Are you Max?" and then Merry and Bright, and then I am going to put the journaling on the back side here, and then that's going to slip in behind the photo of the dog with the antlers. And I thought that was a cute little thing here. I'm just trimming it up. Oh, I made some boo-boos, so I did decide to do it in strips. I have to tell you, doing the strip journal like this, it is a pain in the butt, and it takes forever. I love how it looks, because it just looks kind of, you know, fun and vintagey looking, but it is such a pain in the butt. So even though I keep doing it, I'm just like, why do I keep doing this? Because it's just driving me crazy. So anyway, I am going to add some adhesive to the photo now here in just a couple minutes after I make sure everything's glued down very well, because these stickers don't like to stay. Plus it's going to be going in and out of the picture. I'm going to glue down the photo of my dog with some score tape, and I'm going to make it in such a way that this little tab, or this thing that I'm going to be slipping in, doesn't go anywhere, because I was worried that because it was so small it was just going to fall out or fall down or fall behind the picture. So I'm going to put the score tape strategically so I make a bit of a pocket that is a little smaller, so then that fits in perfectly. Now my photo is all glued down. I am working on the embellishment part of this, which is just a piece of lace that I got from Joann's. It was one of the laces by the yard. And then this is a little embellishment that I pre-made before I started making my album. Just gluing that down, gluing everything onto the photo, and then that holds really well. And then I realized, oh no, I forgot the date. So no big deal. I ended up just typing up 17th on my typewriter, and then I'm going to glue that to the little tab. Problem solved, dates on the page, and this one is pretty much done. Then I'll move on to the left-hand side of the page. I really like how this paper looks on the left-hand side. I love how the doilies left an impression on the paper after I coffee dyed it. It's probably one of my favorite ones that I've made so far. It just worked out super well. I need to try that technique again. So I don't want to cover it up. So you kind of see how I'm going to use that doily there on the bottom left to my advantage. Now I'm working on the pictures of the snow. This day, it was a snow day. It snowed a lot for us, and it was nice, so I wanted to get some pictures of that. And since I had so many pictures, I did print them in a little, it was about 2 by 2 or 2.5 by 2.5 squares. I did all my journaling on this 4x6 card from KB and Friends. I'm going to do the same kind of technique that I did on a previous page where I had a Christmas card, and I'm going to make a little hinge with this fabric. And this is just muslin fabric that I coffee dyed. Adding some fabric glue here, going to smush it all down, and then I will make this as a hinge, and I'm going to put those 2 square photos here on the back of it here in a second after I smush that all down. And I'm just cutting it slightly and then ripping it because I like that frayed edge on the fabric. So when I glue these down, I thought they looked really nice, but I wanted to ink up the edges because I just, again, didn't like the starkness of them, and I just think it tones it down a bit and makes it a little bit more vintagey looking. So I'll glue those down, just using my, dry tape runner. And then this whole little piece here is going to be glued down to my page. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me while I finish this up. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And if you want to get notified when I have a video up, just click on that little bell by the subscribe button and it will tell you when I have a next video up. I'm hoping to get some more videos up this year. I've been having a lot of fun. Now I have been off for almost 2 weeks. I've gone back to work now, but I've been off, so I've had a lot more free time and just a lot more time that I don't feel like I have to rush and clean the house and do everything while I'm not at work. So I'm hoping to get a lot more videos up compared to last year, because last year was pretty abysmal when it came to videos. But we're just going to have to kind of see how it plans out once school starts back up again and things like that. My daughter goes back on Tuesday, so you never know. Once that happens, it may get a little bit hard to make videos, but I'm really hoping to get some videos up, more junk journaling videos outside of December Daily. I'm hoping to maybe do Project Life pocket pages, so stay tuned for all that. I'm hoping I can get some of that stuff up. So here is where I was talking about I wanted to still be able to see that doily impression, so I'm just taking a vintage Christmas tag and then adding it on and just keeping that doily there kind of as just an embellishment piece itself, and I really like how that looks. So now I have the date that I need to add to this side. This is the 16th, and I never added the date, so I'm going to take a little piece of journaling card that it came from the KB and Friends cut apart sheet, and I want to add the 16. So I'm going to try that out, and I don't really like how it's going to look on this little card, so I'm going to pull my punch out that is shaped like an ornament, and I'm going to punch it out, and you really can't see it very well on camera because it is this white color, but I do like how it looks, and I'm just going to staple that to the card, and then I'm just going to glue that behind the little flip out. And just used my stapler, my Tim Holtz stapler with some gold colored staples in it, inking around the edges like I have been doing, and then gluing that down. And then that's pretty much going to be it for me today. Like I said, thanks so much for joining me. If you have any questions about anything I've done, just leave those in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys, and I will catch you with the next video. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.